Hey guys, it's your girl Shady Lane 2121 coming at you with a quick video again on my iPhone. The charger to my HD cam is broken, and I was trying to hook up my other webcam, and it's getting on my nerves. So I just said, forget about it. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it on my iPhone. Yeah, so what I want to talk about, it's like I said, about my breast augmentation coming up. So I wanted to do a couple videos about that, especially as it gets closer. And right now I am a whole 9 days away and freaking out, let me just say. Each day I'm just like having these dreams that I wake up and my tatas look like rocks in a sock, or they're horribly disfigured. And I guess it's pretty normal that, you know, people have these dreams before, and you know, it's a surgery, you know, let's be real, things can happen. So that's what's been freaking me out lately. So I've been trying to keep my mind off of it, and whatnot. So I just wanted to go over a couple things for my pre-op. So usually 2 weeks before your surgery, you will have a pre-op. Some people do it quicker. But usually about 2 weeks out, there are certain things that your doctor will not want you to do, things they will not want you to take. So like here's a sheet, and this just says kind of, you know, with what my instructions are. And let's kind of go over them. Basically, I'm not allowed to have anything to eat or drink after midnight the night before the surgery. This includes water, gum, mints, and hard candy. Eating or drinking anything before surgery will result in your surgery being canceled. So you don't want to screw up and drink something or eat something, and then you can't have your surgery after you paid all this damn money and have to reschedule. And you've taken time off of work and, you know, got everything arranged, because it takes arranging to get this done. You gotta have time, you gotta have someone to watch over you and your kids and all that stuff. If you're taking aspirin, ibuprofen, anti-inflammatory medications, or any vitamins, minerals, or herbs, discontinue use 2 weeks prior to your surgery. You may take Tylenol if needed. You don't want any ibuprofen or anything like that, because that can tend to thin your blood, and they don't want to have any issues while they're operating on you. I'm doing mine at an outpatient surgery center. Procedure should only take about an hour. They recover you probably less than an hour, and you're out the door. But if you are going, you know, you don't want anything to happen. So you want to make sure, and you don't want to have any bleeding or hematomas after your surgery either. So you want to make sure you definitely don't take any anti-inflammatory medication. You will need someone to drive you home from the surgical facility, because, hold on a second. You want someone to drive you home from the surgical facility, because you will be coming out of anesthesia, so you cannot drive. You also want someone to stay with you, because again, you'll be on anesthesia, and you know, you cannot drive. You can have side effects from the anesthesia when you get home later. So you want someone to be with you for at least 24 hours after having the anesthesia. Wear loose-fitting clothes, a shirt that buttons up in the front. Don't wear any clothes that have to be pulled over your head, because you're not going to want to be raising your arms too much as soon as you get your surgery done. What else? Oh, wear a zip front hoodie or sports bra. Let's see here. They want us to wear a zip front or front closure sports bra, again, so you're not having to lift your arms up and whatnot, and it's just easier for them to get that onto you in surgery. Some surgeons will tell you not to wear a bra. Some people will come home bandaged up in ACE bandages until their first post-op visit. Mine will just have me in the zip-up or front closure sports bra. What else? Take out all jewelry, nipple rings, no contacts. You can wear your glasses. And that's really about it. Now, some doctors have very strict rules, like they'll give you a whole list of like foods not to eat. Some plastic surgeons will have you do blood work depending on your age and your health. I didn't have to do any blood work. I'm in pretty good physical shape. But some plastic surgeons will have you do that. And what else? Let's talk about a little bit about how to find a plastic surgeon to go to. Let's see here. I got too much stuff going on. You want to, I found mine for the simple fact that I have people that I know that went to him specifically, and so I have first-hand referrals. Also, I researched on the internet. You need to make sure that they are board certified. You need to check if there's been any actions against them. Look everywhere. Google their name, and you will find usually reviews on them, you know, how people's surgeries went. Look on some of the booby boards and see if your doctor's been used. I've done all of that, seen his work, seen his pictures, and then I made a consult with him. First thing I looked at when I came into the office is, how does the office look? Is it cleanly? Is it clean? You know, how is the office staff? What area is it in? All of these things I looked at because I wanted to make sure that, you know, everything was on the up and up. If you walk in and it looks like somebody's grandmama's basement, then you want to turn and run away very quickly. You feel what I'm saying? So you're paying a lot of money and you want to make sure that you are going to get what you want and in a safe environment. There's also tons of questions that you need to ask your plastic surgeon. You need to vibe with your plastic surgeon. I went on a couple of consults. One plastic surgeon I consulted with that also had good recommendations was just very arrogant, and Clay didn't like him and I didn't like him. He was very arrogant, didn't really want to hear. I mean, he spent a lot of time with us, about an hour, but was just very arrogant, and we just were not feeling his vibe at all. The surgeon that I am going with was just very nice, very, you know, you just felt at ease. Like he was really, you know, he was the right one for me to go to. You need to ask them tons of questions. Remember, you are hiring them basically. Like, this is like an interview process. So don't feel bad when you go in there with your 3 sheets of paper, because I did. I had tons of papers printed up with questions, because this is a serious surgery. You know, yes, it's an outpatient surgery, but any surgery is serious on your body. You know what I mean? So you don't want anybody just cutting on you. And you're paying a lot of money for this surgery. So you want to make sure you're not going to come out looking crazy. You want to come out with results that, you know, are good. So you have to make sure that you ask lots and lots of questions. Take lots of pictures. Show him what you're looking for, what your expectations are. Now, that being said, don't go on Playboy and be like, I want boobs exactly like hers, because a lot of times those type of pictures are airbrushed. So you have to go in with realistic expectations. You feel what I'm saying? Realistic expectations of what you want done. Make sure that you check between saline and silicone. I'm getting saline just for the health factors of it, in my opinion. They say that the silicones are much safer. They're a cohesive gel, so even if they do open, they don't leak like the old silicones do. However, for me, I was good on that. I decided to go with saline. Although I was teetering back and forth in the office, because the feel of the saline was just so soft and natural-like versus the silicone. But I have natural tissue already, and I'm going under the muscle, so you're not going to be able to tell much anyways, because I have a lot of natural tissue as it is. But that was my choice. Also, with silicone, you're going to deal with a bigger incision, because they have to put it in already, you know, the size it is. Whereas saline, you'll have a slightly smaller incision, because it's going in as just a plastic bag, and they fill it up once it's inside your chest. So you'll have a smaller incision. Also, with saline, you have the choice to overfill and make a more rounder look, whatever, whatnot. Whereas silicone, you don't. They come pre-manufactured in certain sizes, cc's, so that's the size you're pretty much stuck with. You can't adjust it in surgery. What else? You need to ask about recovery. You need to ask about, you know, how long is it going to take to recover? When can I go back to work? What are your weightlifting restrictions for how long? When can I go back to working out? How long will I be on pain medications? What type of pain medications are you going to give me? Am I going to be on antibiotics after? Are you going to give me antibiotics during? What type of method do you use? Do you go under the muscle? Do you go over the muscle? Do you go through the armpit? Do you go through the belly button? Do you go under the breast? Do you go around the areola? What incision types do you do? Also, how long are you going to be in surgery? What type of anesthesia are you going to be using? Are you going to be using twilight sedation, which is IV sedation? Are you going to be doing local, and I'm going to be awake but I can't feel anything? Are you going to do general, where they give me IV sedation plus anesthetic gas, and I'm going to have an intubation tube in my throat? These are all things that you have to ask about. My surgeon is going to do twilight, which I'm cool with because a lot of people seem to have issues. Not issues, but it's just a little bit harder coming out of general anesthesia for some people. And some people will have a lot of nausea and vomiting as well. I've never had a surgery where I've had to be under either twilight or general anesthesia, so I'm kind of freaked out about that myself. So, being, working in the ER for many years, I did a lot of conscious sedations, did a lot of people on vents and had them out basically, sedated. So I'm well aware of the medications that they're going to use and the safety of them in healthy individuals. So it's just still that little nagging thought in your head that anything can always happen, you know what I'm saying? What else? Some doctors will let you shower right after, like the day after surgery. Some don't want you to shower for 2 to 3 days. Some doctors will do internal stitches and external. Some will do external and you'll have to have them removed. My doctor does dissolvable stitches, so I won't have to have any stitches removed, which is good. What else? There's a lot of changes when you are going to get your breasts done. So when you first get them done, they're probably going to look a hot mess on a lot of people. They look square. They look high up on your collarbones because that's where they're putting them. Especially if they're under the muscle, which is where I'm going, they're probably going to be up here. And that's because it's going under your muscle and it's going to take time for them to drop. A lot of people have experienced a lot of bloating, constipation from the pain medications, and also just from the amount of fluids that they pump into you during surgery, and that's to be expected. Also, there's different hormones in your body that are activated by surgery, stressors, everything like that, that causes you to retain fluids as well, but usually that goes down in like 10 days or whatever. You want to be just well prepared for all your post-surgery things that you're going to need, and I'll go over that in another video. I got my bin down here with everything that I have ready. As far as choosing a breast size, they go by something called a BWD, which is your breast width diameter, and basically what that is the measurement in centimeters from your cleavage to like your inside armpit. So basically the width of one breast. And they do that because based on size, that's how they size what type of implant is going to fit well on your frame. So my width is a 13. So I have leeway to go usually about a half to a full centimeter around that 13. So if you want more cleavage, then you're going to want to go probably like 0.5 bigger than what your diameter is, because that's basically the width of the implant. So the wider it is, the more cleavage that you're going to be having going outwards. I hope that makes sense. You also have different projections in your implants. You've got moderate plus, high profile, and I think ultra high profile. Can't talk. And each level is just going up higher in the way that the implant will project outwards. So ultra high profile is going to be, way more projection. However, the base diameter is going to be smaller. So those are mainly for women that have a smaller frame. But again, you can Google all this stuff. I'm just kind of trying to throw everything out there at you guys. At this time, I've been going back and forth on what size I want to go. Usually the plastic surgeons don't go by D cup, C cup, E cup, whatever. They go by cc's. They say, what do you want to look like? Show me a picture. And they try to get you there in cc's. So for me, I think I'm going to do either a 550 or 600 cc's, and hope that that's, what I wanted. When I started out, I was like, oh, that's maybe 400 cc's or something like that. But as I've looked around and I've seen a lot of pictures, I decided that it would be good for me. Like right now, they look kind of like high and perky and kind of big there. But this is a push-up bra from Fredericks of Hollywood, and it's padded. So don't let it fool you. Don't let it fool you. What else? It's just really what you want. Do you want a fake look? Do you want a natural look? Do you want, smaller, medium? It's all things that you have to talk about. Try on rice sizers. I will put the rice sizer information in the bottom on how to do the rice sizers and the equivalents. If you've seen my other video, I was wearing the rice sizers and I showed you guys. But I mean, it's rice sizers are a cool way to check out what your size might look like. It varies, and if all else fails, you can wear your rice sizers around and go out to the club with them. Get used to them, whatever. Just don't be shaking around and they fall out and hit the ground. And then you got rice all over the place. Like, what's really good? That would be an interesting situation. I think that's about it. I'm gonna wrap this video up because it's getting really long. And I'm going to do another video on stuff that you need to prepare for your post-op and show you what I have so far. So I'll be back. Deuces.